Good evening, everybody. It's Charlie, and welcome back to another video on the Chatting Leeds YouTube channel. Hope everyone has had a great Wednesday so far. Just before we get into this video, as always, please make sure that you are smashing that like button. It really does help get the video out there to more people. Please subscribe to the channel if you are brand new as well, and hit that notification bell so that you're always aware of when I'm uploading and going live. Plenty of content over the next few days, guys, as we gear up for the away game at Cardiff on Saturday afternoon. But today's video, guys, is a little bit different. I've seen a few different creators discussing this. I've seen people on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all the socials discussing this, really. And it's something that I wanted to jump on and give my thoughts on. We discussed it on the White Wall the other night as well. If you haven't already, go and check that out and subscribe to that channel as well, of course. The Elland Road atmosphere. The Elland Road atmosphere is getting discussed a little bit at the minute. And, well, I say atmosphere, the lack of atmosphere at Elland Road now is getting discussed. Now, this frustrates the living daylights out of me because I've always prided myself on the fact that Elland Road is up there with, if it's not it's one of the most amazing atmospheres in the UK, in English football. You know, I think back to some amazing nights at Elland Road. I'm thinking Leicester last season, the Norwich playoff game. You know, there's been previous ones. The day when we beat Chelsea 3-0 at Elland Road. I know we ended up losing this game, but when we brought it back to 2-2 against Man United in that season, where Rodrigo and Rafinha scored, you know, the absolute limbs in the South Stand was unbelievable that day. But I do feel like since definitely the start of last season, we've seen a bit of a drop in atmosphere at Elland Road. Now, I've seen people say that it's because we're a bit spoilt. And what I think people mean by that is, under Marcelo Bielsa, the football that we saw was enthralling. It was entertaining. It had you on the edge of your seat. But I think now with Daniel Farke, even though we won a lot of games last season, and I know it didn't work out in the end, and I'll get battered for saying, he did get 90 points, but at the end of the day, he did get 90 points. Yes, it didn't mean anything in the end, but to get 90 points in the Championship is a very good achievement. And, you know, we were 90 minutes away from playing in the Premier League this season. So it was a good season. If you kind of step back and take emotions out of it, it was. But the football is just not the same. And I think we're seeing, you know, well, I think the Burnley game on Saturday has kind of opened a lot of people's eyes to the fact that, you know, this football is just, it's not great to watch at the minute. You know, we saw it time after time last season where we would struggle to break down low blocks. And I feel like the atmosphere declining is as a result of the football that is on display now. I said this on the White Wall the other night. You know, I think, yes, Leeds will probably win more games than we lose this season. We may even get automatically promoted this season playing this way. I still don't think the atmosphere is going to increase that much unless it's a win over a big rival like a Sheffield United at the end of October, or when Sheff Wednesday come to Elland Road, you know, when, Sunderland come to Elland Road, teams like that, basically. But even then, I just don't think it's going to be the same. Now, I understand what people mean when they say that we're spoiled, because the atmosphere, week in, week out, under Marcelo Bielsa, was second to none. It was unbelievable. But that was because the football that everyone was seeing, it was second to none. It was unbelievable. And I just think that we don't really have the relationship to Daniel Farke that we did with Marcelo Bielsa. And I know that might be stating the obvious, but, you know, it is a shame, really, because, you know, I want to like Daniel Farke. And in a way, I do. I think the style of play is good when it works. And again, stating the obvious. But when it doesn't work, like on Saturday, it is so frustrating to watch. And I feel like, and I'd include Bielsa in this, the last few managers that we've had have all really had one plan. You know, Daniel Farke's got one way of playing, doesn't really change it. Javi Grazia had one way of playing, didn't really change it. Jesse Marsch, we all know Jesse Marsch had one way of playing and he wouldn't change. And even the great man himself, Marcelo Bielsa, had one way of playing and wouldn't change. Now, I am not saying I want Daniel Farke out. It is too early in the season, you know, and like Owen said on the white wall the other night as well, it is a new season. So you've got to like treat it as a brand new start, which I get. But the point I made to that was it might be a new season, but it's the same football. And it's the same atmosphere at Elland Road. Now, again, for some of you who are watching may not be lucky enough to go to Elland Road every single home game. I'm in a fortunate position where I have a season ticket. So I go to every home game, obviously. And I have definitely, since Bielsa left, I've seen a massive decline in atmosphere at Elland Road. And I feel like it's only just hit me the more people have been speaking about it the last few days. We had some okay days at Elland Road and nights at Elland Road under Jesse Marsch, but nothing compared to the Bielsa days. Again, Javi Grazia, Sam Allardyce, I mean, it's not even worth discussing. And yeah, under Farke, I think we had 2 games last season where the atmosphere was unreal. Maybe 3 if you count the Huddersfield game, just because it was a local derby, but the Leicester game at home, and even if you think about it, that was only for the last sort of 10-15 minutes of the game. And then obviously that Norwich playoff second leg, that was unbelievable for the whole 90. And I will give the crowd credit for that. That was a unbelievable night. But again, the football was unbelievable. It was an unbelievable result. Now, under Bielsa, the football didn't work every time. Boy, do we know that. We took some spankings in the Premier League. But the atmosphere was still good. It was still good. And you would argue that last season, the atmosphere should have been amazing 90% of the time because we won a lot of games. But even when we were winning games, the football just wasn't as good to watch. And I think that's the strange thing about the club at the minute. It's very, I don't really have a word to describe it. It's just not the same at the minute. And it's sad because, like I said at the beginning, I always prided myself on the fact that Elland Road was one of the best atmospheres in English football. And I still think it is on its day. But we're definitely seeing a decline at the minute. Is it because Marcelo Bielsa spoiled us with his very entertaining football? Is it because of Daniel Farke's slow football and inability to break down low blocks and, you know, the football's just not as entertaining? Or is it that we're getting a new generation of fan attending Elland Road? Who knows? But I, for one, want the atmosphere to get back to its best. Get behind the lads. Maybe that's why the football's not as good. Maybe they're not feeding off the crowd as much. I don't know. I'm just throwing theories out into the wind. But yeah, honestly, I'm not sure why it is. But we really need to get Elland Road back rocking. Now, obviously, the next home game, unfortunately, I'm not at. As I go on holiday on the day of the Coventry game. So unfortunately, I missed that game. But if you go into the Coventry game, make it loud and make it proud. And again, I sound so tin pot, trying to encourage the fans to get behind the team and create an atmosphere. I never thought I'd have to rally the Elland Road crowd. But again, is it because of the football that we are now seeing under Daniel Farke? Let me know in the comment section down below, guys. Really interested to hear all your thoughts and opinions on this. And if you've enjoyed this video, please make sure that you smash that like button. It really is appreciated. Please subscribe to the channel if you are brand new and hit the notification bell. I will be back with a video tomorrow night, where we will be reacting to Daniel Farke's press conference ahead of the Cardiff game. So make sure that you tune into that, and I'll see you in a bit. Cheers.